Hi again, and welcome to another edition of the Spike Ridgley Show here on WHS-TV. Our show brought to you all season long by Reliable Heating and Cooling of Massillon. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tiger baseball team, Spike Ridgley. Spike, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Spike, your Tigers are now 4-4 since we last spoke a week ago. Let's talk more specifically about your most recent games against Greene, Ursuline, and Louisville. Let's talk about Greene.
Yeah, tremendous game. Got a great start from a freshman, Isaac Maxheimer. He went 7 1/3, but it was just getting to that point pitch count-wise somewhat early in the season. So we made the change, and Hobson gave us a chance, got us out of a jam in the second part of that. Had a pretty good amount of decent quality at bats, just not enough line drives. We had a lot of flyouts. Good contacts, and a lot of ground balls, but they seemed to be hit right at someone. So played excellent defense, and it was one of those games where we went 8 innings and somebody had to lose. They had to hit. It was interesting because the opportunities were very similar. Bases loaded a couple of times. Neither team was able to get a run in, but then they finally, at the end there was 2 outs and a guy at second. They were able to get a base hit. So 1-0, tough loss, but a good performance nonetheless.
And then the Ursuline game?
The Ursuline game, I'll tell you, they were they were a new team from when we played them last year, but they had some talented kids on that team. I believe we faced their one. He threw pretty well. That was a tough one. We had a 3-run lead, I think, in the 4th maybe. You got to tip your cap. They got a run in and then hit a 3-run homer and took the lead. We battled back and tied it, and they ended up winning 7-4. So a couple of base running things that we're trying to clean up a little bit from that game, and a couple of defensive miscues that we're also trying to work on. But the one thing you can't with this group of guys that I've learned about them is that they're always going to give their best effort, and their attitude and their positivity is something that's really going to help us to work our way through this stretch here and come out the other side.
And then third loss to a pretty good Louisville team.
Yeah, we play them again tonight. We're actually 4-5.
Oh, okay.
That loss there with Louisville last night pushed us to 4-5. That's a team that hits the ball 1 through 9. They're a very good team. I want to say, I think, we were down most of the night, but we had a couple of chances to cut into it. We had another base running mistake that kind of defused an inning, I guess you'd say, but again, it's never an effort thing. It's just right now we're just trying to work through a couple of the mistakes that we're making. The kids have been great about it. They've been very open to learning and trying to make those adjustments. It's just, again, the positivity that they're showing right now is going to help us to do that, and the togetherness of the group right now is really helping us as well.
Tell us about 1 or 2 guys who have maybe surprised you a little bit with their playing ability so far.
Wow. We on any given night we have 7 to 8 new guys on the field from last year. And I tell our guys all the time, I know we're struggling just a little bit, but I think overall we keep working at this thing. I think we could become a pretty good team. We got to get that experience for some of the guys that don't have it yet. But in that group is going to be like a Blake Hobson. He's a sophomore that's pitched really well for us. He's played third base. He's played second base when we need to. Another surprise in there. I don't like to say surprise because they're seniors, but they're guys getting their first experience is like a Nate Watkins. He's played a pretty good right field for us. He's hitting pretty well for us. And then you go to some of the younger guys. You got Isaac Maxheimer at second base, and then Will Himes is playing first or DHing. These are guys that they just need to continue to get experience, and they are, and they will. And then another guy that I can't leave out is Nick Salogi. Salogi's a junior, but this is his first experience with varsity. He's playing third base every day for us, and we've got him pitching too with all these games that we're making up because we play every day this week.
When it comes to local high school baseball stadiums, the Duck is certainly one of this area's best. What makes Carl Ducky Schroeder Stadium so special to you?
Yeah, for me, it's, obviously I think it's the best kept secret in Massillon, to be honest with you. It's behind the building over there. It's kind of down the hill, and now, it's even more sort of, right now it's kind of even more roped off because we're building the schools. So I think when these schools are done, I mean, it's just going to be such a tremendous campus to be able to drive through and look at, but it already is. But I think the Duck being down in that little nestled corner there, I think it's a great secret. But for me, it's I grew up on that field. My father was the head coach here for 10 years. I want to say I was in 8th grade. And from 8th grade on, I remember coming and being a part of playing and then coming back and coaching some JV when I first got out of college, and now back again here as the head coach. So it's a special place for me. And anybody that comes in and sees it usually has pretty good things to say about it. And I can't leave out Dave Hackenbracht right now because that guy works extra hard up there to make it look great. So if you're watching, Dave, we appreciate you, brother.
And it's gone through some changes and some renovations.
Yeah, well, it's over the years. It started out with kind of just the fencing, and you could see through it. And then, I know when I was here, not a lot of people know this. I guess the world is going to know now. But my dad took a second mortgage out on his house to build that press box. Him and the Booster Club, and I think they paid it off back then. I want to say it was under a couple $100,000. Now I'd hate to see what that would cost now, but
right.
They had it paid off within a year or two. It just shows you the community effort with getting things done around here. And then, the hitting pavilion is on the side there that the Eagles 190 has been gracious to help out to build and be a part of. And then, the dugouts have been renovated over the years. We've got nice seating. So it's a great place to watch a ball game. And, turf is kind of the new trend. And boy, it sure would be hard to give up the natural playing surface. With the rain, though, it makes you kind of rethink it. So, but no, we're really lucky. We're very fortunate to have a facility like that, and the kids and the coaches know that.
Thank you. When we come back, we'll visit with a Tiger player. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
There was a time when 10 miles to the gallon was acceptable. Today's 40-plus mile-per-gallon cars weren't even in the rearview mirror back then. Of course, this Lennox air conditioner wasn't on the radar either. It's solar-ready, the quietest, most energy-efficient air conditioner you can own. It's time to live in the now.
Call Reliable Heating and Cooling for the most advanced technology in heating and air conditioning. When you're ready to live in the now, call Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. The Tiger player joining us this week is senior shortstop Gavin Marceric. Gavin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
At what age did you start playing baseball, and do you remember who taught you the game?
I started playing at 5 years old. My dad taught me the game just in the backyard. 5 years old is when I started t-ball. Sure, I was doing more before that age, just the backyard and everything.
Sounds good. Is baseball your favorite sport?
Yeah, for sure. I've been playing my whole life. Played other sports before, but baseball is the one that stuck with me and that I'm continuing to play.
Do you have a favorite Major League Baseball player?
Yeah, I would say Francisco Lindor was always my favorite player. I'm a Cleveland guy, so I love watching Jose Ramirez now, all of those guys starting off the year good, so yeah.
Have you modeled your game after Francisco Lindor?
Yeah, I've tried to. Smooth as can be.
In what areas of your game did you work on the most since the end of last season?
I would say the areas I worked the most were just in the weight room, just trying to stay consistent at the plate, just try to contact, catch the barrel, and then just continue to get stronger so I can throw the ball harder across the infield, maybe get 1 or 2 extra outs that maybe I wouldn't have got last year and would have been base hits, cover more range.
What are some of the required skills that you need to have to be a successful shortstop?
I would say just had to be smooth, had to be patient, had to stay within myself, be consistent with what I go out and do every day.
Finally, tell us what kind of goals that you set for yourself and the team this year.
I would say we just got to get better every day. Through whether that's practice, whether that's games, we just got to continue to progress. Whether that's through a win or through a loss, we want to learn from our mistakes, learn from what we do good and what we do bad, and get better every day.
Sounds great. Thanks, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Gavin Marceric, our guest on the show this week. I want to wish him the best of luck. Coach Spike Ridgley will rejoin us after this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
And welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. Coach, we just spoke with senior shortstop Gavin Marceric in our last segment. How does Gavin impact this year's baseball team, both on and off the field?
Gavin is a very special player to me. His father, Jamie Marceric, has coached here with me for the full 9 years that I've been here. I remember Gavin coming around when he was, I want to say, 6th, 7th grader, and just watching his development, how much he's grown. And I say about that Marceric family. I have 2 little ones of my own right now. If I can raise my kids half as good as that family has raised Gavin and Molly, I'll be doing okay. And Gavin is such a high character kid. He's worked very, very hard at it. He got a few spot starts as a freshman, and we DH for him. He wasn't ready offensively at that time, but to watch his development, defensively, which I really thought was going to happen. And to see where he's at offensively now, I think there's a big credit to his work in the weight room. But he's become a full package player. I'm really proud of him. And then you talk about the relationship side of things with what he brings to our team. He's a captain. He's a guy that I can talk to and get the pulse of the team. And he's a guy I care about deeply, like the rest of the guys. So. We've got this season with him, and we want to make the most of it and start learning from these mistakes pretty quick, I'm hoping here, so we can maximize what we have here. But Gavin's a very special player, and when he's gone, we'll certainly miss him.
Your Tigers are sitting at 4-5, and you, as you well know, you're in the middle of a really busy week. We're talking about games, another game with Louisville, Firestone, Barberton, St. Vincent, St. Mary's, McKinley, and Perry into next week a little bit.
Yeah.
And we know Mother Nature always has the final say. Mm-hmm. But how do having these many games potentially put a strain on your pitching staff?
Well, on Sunday I was staring at, because you regroup and you're trying to look at what you got coming in the next couple of weeks. And Sunday I'm looking at it, and at one point we were going to have 8 games in 10 days. But I'm looking at Monday is supposed to be 75 degrees and clear, and all we've been looking at is rain. So we picked up that Ursuline game because we need to play. Mm-hmm. That's how the inexperienced group is going to get better. And, that put us at 9 games in 10 days. So as far as stressing the pitching staff, I don't know if there's a word that is sort of another level higher than stress, but everybody's going through the same thing. It's not just us. Mm-hmm. Last night we were able to, because of where the game was at, we wanted to make sure that we had a guy available for tonight. And so you talk about the selflessness of this group. Mm-hmm. Our seniors are doing an amazing job. And many of them are not receiving regular playing time. So, I can't say enough about that. You talk about character and the way that they were raised. And we got guys like Vinny Keller, Evan Sergo, Grady Spagocci that are just coming up there and doing anything they can to help the team. The trainer's out of town right now, and Evan's helping with that because he's in SIF's class. Mm-hmm. You got Vinny's willing to do whatever you need him to do. Grady went in and pitched last night. Grady is not a pitcher. And then Grady might be a pitcher now because Grady was able to get in there and get 3 outs for us without any damage to give us a chance in the 7th. But, I can't say enough about our team and as far as the kids and their behavior and their body language and attitude. But the pitching staff is definitely stressed. That's why we have a guy like Grady go out there and help us out. And he did a great job with it last night. I'm sure there'll be somebody else by the end of the week, too.
Now, I want to highlight one of the games this coming Saturday, April 20th, is special because it's Educators Day. I know you had that program last year. Tell us a little bit about that and tell us what's going to go on this year.
Yeah. So it's something, I want to say it's something we started maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we really like it. I mean, there's so many great teachers that work in our district that help shape and mold the kids. I'm seeing it right now with my own 2 boys. I got a 4 and a 6-year-old coming through, and it's so cool to see the way that those kids come home and talk about their teachers and the impact that those couple of people are making. It's Mrs. Musey right now for Win, and it's Mrs. Cordes for Wit. So it's really one of my favorite things that we do each year is for the guys that choose that educator and to see their reaction. Because it can be tough sometimes, the daily grind of it. We all love what we do, but it's really cool to get positive feedback, especially from kids that they've made such a great impact on. And so we're really looking forward to that. And just a heads up, I'm getting kind of some feedback that Saturday might be difficult with the RSVPs, so it may be pushing into Monday. Okay. I'll keep you updated.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
And finally, speaking of updates, how about the other Tiger teams besides the varsity? How are the other teams faring so far?
They're doing a great job. I mean, they're just practicing. They've been practicing a lot. I think the JV team has 5 games in. They're hovering right about 500, and the freshman team, I want to say, I think they have 3 or 4. So it's been tough. The kids have been great, but that starts with the coaches. Because the coaches have kept such a positive attitude about it, and the kids have kind of followed suit, and they've done a great job. So it's going to be a lot of baseball here soon for both of those teams. We're kind of navigating the league makeup games. Right. We were able to pick up Firestone at home for varsity, but they weren't able to do JV Thursday. So, and it's probably related to a makeup game that they got to make up in the league. So. But no, they're doing a good job. I'm grateful for the job that those coaches do, and I want to make sure I mention too, like our ADs are really helping us out. And Dan McGrath with Dan's got to see my name go across his phone and wonder what change is happening now. He's our bus guy, so I want to make sure we thank all those people.
And like you said, you're not the only coach and teams that are going through this. All the teams in the area are fighting this weather.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, thanks again for your time.
Appreciate it.
Wrap up another edition of the Spike Ridgley Show here on WHS-TV. Want to thank senior shortstop Gavin Marceric for joining us on the show, and thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. For Coach Ridgley, I'm Dave Sheets. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.